Happy Mother's Day, everybody. I like this setup here. You know. All right. Taking my dad's GTO. 2006 GTO. 400 horsepower. Okay. Excuse me. Alright, let's see if I can spin this thing around without going into the road in reverse. It's been a while since I drove stick shift, besides last week. And reverse in my Mustang was never on the top right. It was always on the bottom right. So you gotta get kind of used to that a little bit. Dad was telling me there's some type of beef shortage going on, supposedly, but we'll go find out. Does this guy let me go? Thank you. Shift, the first one there. Yeah, we'll go this way. Gotta get used to this puppy again. I love going by the guardrails here. When I used to have my Flowmasters on my 2001 Mustang GT, 410 gear, Steeda Triax shifter with the short throw. It had the it had all the bolt-on parts you can buy, like headers. Had like a 2.5-inch headers right out of the block, bolted up to a Bassani X pipe with 50 series. Actually, I started, this is what I actually wanted to say before on YouTube, but I started with the 40 series, right? This is back in 2010, I think. And I started with the 40 series. Flowmasters, I forget exactly what they were called, but they were called the 40 series. And then I ended up bumping into something one time when I was racing around. Basically, 4 friends of mine were there to witness it, or 3 friends, and we went sideways at about 100 miles an hour on a on-ramp that was a S-turn type on-ramp, and I hit it too fast one night and we slid. We hit the grass and went totally sideways at a buck, but I gave it 3 snaps of the wheel, had the I had the wheel totally cocked to the left in about 3 snaps. Like, the wheel was all the way left. So I went up the highway sideways for about, I don't know, I'd say about 100 feet, blowing sideways. Then I'm like, uh-oh. But there's an opposite and equal reaction for everything, right? So what happened was, I'm going sideways at 90 now. My wheel's cocked all the way to the left. I'm slowing down a little bit, obviously, because I'm skidding. And then I knew I had a counter steer back the other way, so I started doing that well before I needed to. And what I did was, snap the wheel back 3 times to the right now, like that. So the wheel was back to the right now with three or 4 snaps, because my wheel was all the way left to begin with. So now I'm going out the other way. So we're about 75 sideways to the right now. So I'm like, okay, well, I think I got it. So and then I end up fucking going back and forth a couple of times, and then straight up the highway. But so basically, I saved us from hitting anything on the wall, but I accidentally took out a street sign in between and almost killed all of us, actually. But this is when I was like, 24 years old or something, immature, and I stopped acting up like that after. I put the street sign right through it came through the roof, impaled it. I have pictures of it, because I had the body guy had to fix it. He had to do a new skin on the top. And it actually came through and impaled, it almost impaled one of the 4 of us, first of all. It came in between all 4 of us. And it went between all 4 of us and hit the center console, and it pulled my dome light. There's a dome light right in the center of a car usually, in the top there. It actually knocked that thing out, but it stretched a wire out. There's a wire. Prefer to use this phone instead of the this S10 Galaxy instead of the what the hell is this guy whacking the brakes for? Did you get stung by a bee? Oh yeah, I love that low end torque on the first, right when you get into the gear, that low end. Really feel that torque of the motor and the compression. Get into that high end, it's just, obviously your torque is outrageous, but the key is how much torque do you have at the low end. gotta get used to that second gear. I mean first gear. Coming out of second gear. See, that's what I liked about my Mustang. Like when you gave it that little bit of gas there, it would just like, just the littlest pump of my throttle. I think because I had a larger throttle body on it. It was so, I bought, it's funny, I went and bought the thing with my buddy. Guy advertises it as a 2001 Mustang. This is back in, take it, this is back in 2000 and, what was it? It's like 2008 or 2009. He lists this Mustang. He calls it stock, first of all. I think it said it had aftermarket exhaust, which it did. It had a Bassani X-pipe. Oh no, it had a, I forget what type of X-pipe it had, but it had some type of X-pipe. It was actually an aftermarket X-pipe. Yeah, well, I don't think it came with an X-pipe stock. The old Mustangs used to come with the H-pipe. Then they changed it to an X-pipe. The power. This is what I mean. You can hear your exhaust on the guardrail. I used to love that. But in my old Mustang, it had the X-pipe. Oh, I gotta shut the window here. Look at that. Look at that nice aluminum bulk hauler. Grain. Probably grain. Or yeah. Used to the 5-speed. See, I'm going for reverse on the highway, you know? So be careful. Obviously, I knew not to do it, but I just gotta check. I'm in 6th gear now. Cruising. That guy behind me is trying to catch back up now. So my 2001 Mustang GT was listed. It listed as a stock 2001 Mustang GT with aftermarket exhaust. Thinking, you know, they might have put just like a Flowmaster tip on there. Something from the X back, something from the mid pipe back. Yeah, that's what they call that pipe, is a mid pipe. You either got your manifold. Should be able to do this. There you go. See, I'm not even using my brakes at all. But when you got to be real careful when you're downshifting, because if you just go and downshift and let the clutch out without adjusting your RPM ratio, you'll wear out your transmission and clutch, because you don't want to just like put all that force on your transmission without synchronizing the RPM to the rate of speed, to your rotation of your tires to the pavement. Now, you know, like watch, I'll do it right here. See how the car doesn't even like jerk at all? You know. Yeah, we're going to get fuel right now. We'll look around here. Ain't even gonna use second gear, I don't need to. Break the speed limit in like first gear, you know, with these cars. Smooth ride too. I love it. It's a lot smoother than my Mustang was. So they listed as a 2001 Mustang with aftermarket exhaust. So we buy it. It had, like, listen to how many miles it had on it. It had 32,000 miles. Like, I couldn't believe it had 32,000 to begin with. So basically, I'm buying the car. To me, it was brand new, because like, think about how old I am. So they wanted $10,600. So I bought it for $10,600. I financed 8,000 of it, I think. Had to pay $200 a month for 4 years, something like that. I forget. Years ago. And so me and my buddy, he drives me to pick the thing up, and so we're going to which side that thing's on here. I think it's on my side. I think it's on the opposite side. Oh wow, look at that old Chevy S10, dude. That thing is freaking, look at this thing. Look at that Chevy S10. That's a freaking vehicle right there, man. That thing is a freaking vehicle. I'm gonna fuel up. You can watch the main road. did you buy that truck brand new? Those are nice trucks. Yeah? Oh, I had one like that. My brother rolled it, but it was an 89 with 10,000 miles on it originally, and it was a stick shift. Same body though. Right. Okay. Yeah, I talked to that guy about with that old truck. He's complaining. He's like, "Why would you buy a pickup truck without a stick shift?" I'm like, "Wow, that guy is cool," because nobody else thinks like that, besides like normal people that I consider normal. But that's probably very far from normal, in most opinion. Where's those keys? Let's see what we got here. Hey, I could have sworn he put some exhaust on here, but it don't sound like it. Okay, some 93 octane in. Let's get up the road here. But yeah, so I got that 2001 Mustang GT. I gotta finish this story. I keep repeating myself like 10 times here. And so me and my buddy go pick it up. There's Danielle right there. Idiot. You gotta be kidding me. This is my truck. Isn't that weird? She's driving my truck, but flicking me off. Isn't that awesome? That's so funny. She's driving my truck, but she's flicking me off. I love it. to smell burnt rubber. Oh, I know this thing would do a donut in about 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Look at the tractor trailer parked right here. I don't think they're supposed to park in here, but there's a secret entrance in the back here, but they make it so hard for trucks to get in. Watch, I'll show you. You can tell that they engineered it so tractor trailer trucks can't make it in. See, that's the one thing I loved about my Mustang was the short throw Steeda Triax with the Tremec. Because, oh yeah, so go back to my Mustang. So they classify it as a stock Mustang with just exhaust upgrade. So I get it. I'm gonna just finish the story now. It came with 410 gearing. My buddy gets in the car and he goes, dude, this thing's not stock. He goes, nail it at this light. I go, all right. He goes, dude, have you drove a 2001 Mustang GT stock? I go, no. I go, yeah, I did, but I didn't get the tool on it or nothing. He goes, dude, that is not stock. That thing is far from stock, he said. First of all, he put my car on a jack stand, and he rotated my tire he rotated my tire, and he counted how many times the drive shaft rotated in order for the drive shaft to turn 3 times. He measured how many times the tire rotated, and the fact that, or no, he rotates the tire 1 time, exact 1 time, 360-degree revolution. And what it does is it tells you the gear ratio. It's online, you can probably look it up. If you turn your wheel 360 degrees, 1 full revolution, and then you count the amount of times your drive shaft spins, it's like 373 gears, the drive shaft spins like 1 point or 2 point something times, and then 410 gears it turns a couple more, it turns a little bit more. But yeah, he did that, and it was cool. So he goes, no, this has 410 gear ratio. First I thought it was 373s, but it felt more snappy than my original Mustang. Let me let this lady get in. It felt like it had a lot more torque off the line than my I had a 5.0 91 Mustang 5.0, badass 5.0 with 373 gears, all the bolt-on parts you can buy. That thing had close to it had about 300 horsepower. Little 5.0 liter Mustang, badass. But yeah, but he says, no, you got 410 gears. I got sidetracked there. 410 gears. I had a Steeda Triax short throw shifter, which doesn't come stock. It came, I believe it. Some of those models came stock with a Tremec short throw. I mean the Tremec 5-speed transmission, which mine came with the Tremec 5-speed transmission, and it also came with 2.5-inch headers right out of the block. Those are in stock. It had the X pipe on it, which was a mean X pipe with cats. It was funny. I got a story I can tell you about that. When I scraped the bottom of the Mustang, when I hit that sign, I ended up having to replace the X pipe, and I went with a Bassani with no catalytic converters. So, oh yeah, that's another thing too. The Mustang GT 2001 has 6 catalytic converters running through the exhaust assembly from the factory. So when you get the 40 series, I had the 40 series on there, Flowmaster, that gets rid of 2 catalytic converters, which this is all illegal too. You need to get like an inspection sticker, and it's hard to if you get rid of these factory parts for emission's sake. So I had the 40 series with an X pipe. I forget what the name was. It's called Extreme. That's what it was. Extreme X pipe. And that I cut it with the sign. The bottom of the sign slashed it, right? So I end up replacing that with a, what is it called? I ended up replacing that with a Bassani X pipe because I thought I cut it. First of all, I cut it with the freaking, I scraped it, so I had to replace it anyway. So I bought the Bassani X pipe with no cats, and I realized I didn't have any cats on my headers either because those were aftermarket. So now I got my Mustang all back together. I had absolutely no catalytic converters, no back pressure. So I had straight pipes basically with the 50 series. Then I replaced the 40 series, went to the 50 series. Okay, so now I got 50 series, Bassani X pipe, shorty headers, 2.5 inch, okay? So now you got basically no back pressure. So when you start the car up, it sounds like crap. Like, it sounded mean when you revved it up, like real mean. But once you like just was sitting there idling, it was like blah, 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 blah. You hear like a tin can raspy sound, like a cat growling at you. It sounded like crap. So I ended up going back to what I had, the Extreme. It had 2 cats in it, and those 2 cats made that Mustang sound so freaking good. You'd never believe it. You'd never believe how good that Mustang sounded. It sounded like an old 5.0. That's why I liked it. And but I don't know why people choose to park over here if they can't make it through. But yeah, this is gonna conclude that. I gotta get in this store. Have a good day. Have a good Mother's Day, everybody. Thank you.